Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Welcome back. Salute to my brother from another mother, Mr. Two Hands Up. Salute, my brother.
Salute, bro.
Now, Mr. Two Hands, I want to start with an inaugural rant real quick, just to kick things off, to let everybody know what type of forced eviction this is. And, we're going to go over a lot of topics. One that I definitely got to go over is Jermall Charlo saying that he wants to fight David Benavidez at 168 pounds, but he's fighting none but Uber drivers at 160 pounds. He got to get evicted.
Talk your shit.
The next one that got to get evicted has to be Tony Bellew. This idiot turns around and says he'll play with Andy Ruiz. It'll be easy work to beat Andy Ruiz for him. And then this the same dude that was knocked out at light heavyweight and at cruiserweight. What the fuck are you talking about, Tony Bellew? Andy Ruiz might look sweet because he's fat and shaped like a butterball, but he will piece you up. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Another one we got to get is Errol Spence Jr. saying he beats a prime Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I knew it.
But you won't fight Terrence Crawford. So the first thing you got to do before you can even think about beating the Floyd Mayweather is you got to locate your nuts. But let's keep going. We also got to talk about Demetrius Andrade. Is he the boogeyman or is he the booty man because all his opponents are ass? Let's just be honest and unbiased. And then we also got to get into this hypocrisy about Anthony Joshua. Now, I find this funny is that people say Anthony Joshua, if he doesn't knock out somebody, he's a runner. But if Tyson Fury doesn't knock out somebody, it's a masterclass. If Anthony Joshua struggles against an opponent, he's a bum. If Fury struggles, he just didn't get up for the fight. See, we got to keep it honest and unbiased on both ways. And one of the other topics we got to get over is Leonard Ellerbe, Mr. Hot Dog Knows himself, protecting Gervonta Stank Davis from the entire division of 135 pounds. This dude is fighting none of the top fighters we want to see fight at 135. This dude looking for Leo Pillow Fist Santa Cruz, and everybody's okay with it. We got to be honest and unbiased. Now, let's go ahead and kick this off, and I'm going to welcome my brother Unbiased to Biased Boxing Talk onto the stream. And, fellas, we're going to start with Demetrius Booty Andrade because you can't beat a boogeyman if all your opponents are ass. Salute to Unbiased to Biased Boxing Talk.
Yo, what's going on, guys? What's up? What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Look, there's a narrative been floating around. You want to go ahead and body it real quick, Unbiased?
Well, apparently, people are saying that Erislandy Lara was ducking Andrade, which makes no sense because Demetrius Andrade was clout chasing 2015. And then when Lara actually said, hey, I'll put you in a pine box, he said this over Twitter, Andrade was the one saying, oh, I don't want to fight him. He'd rather fight Colque for the normal belt. The Andrade, the Lara fight is a last resort fight, last resort check. There's articles, what I'm saying? If you want to screen share it, you can, so people could see it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's making this up. Lara even said, this guy, I'll fight him for $15,000. He said that. And this was like before 2015. He wanted to fight him on ESPN2. He said, I'll fight Andrade for $15,000. I already spanked him in the amateurs, and I'll fight him for $15,000. So what's up? And Andrade, of course, didn't take that offer neither. Like, this dude Andrade has ducked so many people, it's hard to count. But now all of a sudden, he looks like he wants to fight people, so we must bow down and act like he really wants to work. So, I mean, with him, it's always like a show and prove. That's why I didn't take his word. I had to listen to Eddie Hearn say that they sent him a contract because I don't go by what Demetrius Andrade says. If Eddie Hearn says it, then I'll go by that. But this dude has been playing duck, duck, goose for majority of his whole entire career. So let's not act like he didn't pull out the Jermall fight neither. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's been ducking everybody.
Well, here's the thing, Unbiased. This is something I found funny about Demetrius Andrade. I remember when the Canelo Alvarez Demetrius Andrade negotiations started before Canelo went to Sergey Kovalev, and Andrade said, I've never heard from Canelo's team. I don't know anything about negotiation. They ain't said anything to me. And then they asked Eddie Hearn, he said, yep, I've been in contact with Golden Boy and De La Hoya. So obviously you're not even close enough to your management to understand what's going on. You're not a boss. You're not running. You're not even important enough to run this by. So that just lets me know what the real situation, either that or he blatantly lied about the situation on bias.
Hey, even so, right, in 2018 or in 2017 to 2018, you guys remember all Demetrius Andrade calling out Triple G, Canelo, all those guys? There is a video of him saying that he's not even ready for Billy Joe Saunders or any of the champions because he needs to put on more muscle for the division. So you spent a whole entire year pretty much clout chasing and screaming for all these guys to fight you and everybody's ducking you, yet you admitted that you weren't even ready for these guys. And if you guys need the video, I can grab it. So I don't understand like the whole notion that everybody's ducking this guy when he pretty much ducked everybody.
So let me ask you this, unbiased. So how is Erislandy Lara ducking Demetrius Andrade when he beat him in the amateur? Why would I duck somebody I've already beaten in the amateurs? Why would I duck somebody that I've already went up and fought Floyd? I fought Jarrett Hurt. This is when Jarrett Hurt, everybody thought he was a monster in the division. And yet Lara is supposed to be scared of a guy he's already beaten in the amateurs and he's fighting bigger names in the pros. Who has a history of not fighting people? Demetrius Andrade, not Lara, but this is their king. This is your king. Your king is wearing a nose ring with dreads and talking about, oh, I need to put on muscle before I fight somebody. That's your king. This is the guy you're going to go get on your knees for?
Bro, I don't even mean to break in, but this stupid motherfucker Andre, like, come on, bro. Like, what's wrong with these people? Anything they hate on Canelo. Let me tell you something. How this man gonna talk about going up to 168 and then in the same breath talk about needing to put on muscle? I mean, come on, stop it, bro. You ain't did nothing at 160, not a goddamn thing. You crying for Canelo. You know Charlo ain't gonna fight you. So what are you gonna do? Move up to 160, and then you talk about you gotta put on muscle and all this. You talking about Lara. Why the fuck would Lara duck a fight with you when he fought Canelo? That makes no sense, bro.
And he fought Paul Williams. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Dog?
But just look at this. Look at this, right? So he said, I don't know if that's the last resort, then yeah, I'm gonna take that fight. He said he won't engage or try to make the fight entertaining, especially if it's coming into my favor. Andrade said he's just gonna survive, try to run, and try to do a little bit of pity pat counters. You mean like how you fight? I'm not about that right now. I'm about sitting there doing what I need to do best and letting the fans know I'm willing to get in there with anybody. And then he said that he's not even interested in this fight. He'd much rather fight Koke. You know what I'm saying? This is what he said. We're not making this up. This is what he said. And he wanted to take the normal belt, the interim belt, to possibly go and fight Charlo Hatley winner for that fight with that little normal belt instead of the super belt, which he had the opportunity to fight for, but he turned down. And on top of that, when he won the Koke fight, he became Erislandy Laura's mandatory. And then what did he do? He vacated the belt. So you guys are saying he did all this, but he won the interim belt and then vacated it.
So explain this to me, unbiased. So it is Landy Lara's mandatory, and then he turns around and vacates the belt, which is a clear duck move for the fight.
Right. He vacated the belt.
In his own words, he said he would prefer a regular champion than the full champion. It's not like he only had an opportunity to fight the regular champion. He literally had an opportunity to fight, Erislandy Lara. So anybody's pushing that, it's a blatant and biased fucking narrative. Anybody. And I'll tell you what, if anybody got a disagreement with that, a problem with that, anybody feel like they want that smoke, if anybody feel like they want to grab their nuts and step up, please step up in the chat right now and I drop that link and we can debate this right now. No waiting, no games, no playing. But let's keep it going. I mean, D, two hands, you guys anything to add to this?
Nah, not really.
No, I just tell you like this. I'm ready to debate it with anybody too, because I've been saying this shit for a long time. And now that people coming out of the cut trying to pump Andre up, please bring it. Please bring that shit, bro. That's all I want to say.
Look, my thing is, just like Unbiased always say, D, two hands, we got to keep that same energy that we have for Deontay Wilder, for Jermall Charlo, the same energy we got for all these other people, the same energy they have for Canelo, the same energy they have for Lomachenko. Have that same energy for Demetrius Andrade. Don't try to switch it up and pump one guy up. That's LDBC shit. We got to keep everybody on the same playing field. We got to be even. If one dude is fighting nothing but champions and the other dude's fighting tomato cans and one is over 30 plus years old, there's no fucking excuse for that shit.
Right.
No.
Yeah, IBFP, bro. These dudes will shit on Deontay Wilder's resume, right? But then in the same breath, be over here glorifying Andrade. Like, y'all not making sense. Wilder has a better resume than Andrade. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like,
so how can you shit on Wilder and you support Andrade? And you telling me his entire career, nobody's ever wanted to fight it. One thing we do know, Jermall will fight you. Oh, speak on the two hands, my brother.
God damn, nah. I mean, when you put it in perspective, I mean, in that sense, when you say that, you know, Deontay Wilder has a better resume than Demetrius Andrade, I mean, fuck. I can't argue with that. I'll pass.
That pretty much sum it all up, bro. That tell you everything you need to know right there.
And look, this isn't some hate narrative against Andrade. These are just the facts. The facts are he said he would prefer not to fight Lara. The facts are he said it wasn't, he's gonna run away from it. The facts are he's 32 years old with no fight.
I will say this in the defense of Demetrius Andrade, because I am a fan of his skill set. I'm not saying nothing against him as a fighter. In my opinion, yes, he does pass eye tests. In my opinion, when he gets in the ring with guys, he does make it look easy. All we are simply saying, in the world of where, guys are called ducks, in the world of where guys don't take fights, et cetera, you can't sit up there, and sit up there and pretend this guy is a boogeyman when his resume is weaker than Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there are a few guys on his resume that, of course, there are no names that a lot of casual fans aren't going to know that are respected, but he do got a worse resume than Deontay Wilder, and I've never taken the time out to look at it that way. So when you're looking at it in that sense, yeah, bro, you do have to get to work. Now, you know what I'm saying? It gets to a point to where, hey, even being a believer in skill set, motherfucker, you got to show and prove, because that shit just ain't gonna be enough. When unbiased can bring that to my attention and I have to fucking agree with that, yeah, bro, that's pretty fucking spooky.
And look, I've heard everybody on this panel, at least at one time, say that Demetrius Andrade has skills. Demetrius Andrade is a good fighter. So it's not hate. It's just simply laying out the facts in comparison to another fighter. That's all it is. I believe if Demetrius Andrade got a chance against guys like Deverenchenko, Jermall Charlo, he would do very well in those fights. I don't know if he would win those fights, because a lot is unproven. I don't know if he can take those shots against Deverenchenko. I don't know if he could take that pressure. I think he'll have a good chance, but I don't know if he could. Maybe Deverenchenko stopped him. If Bonas dropped him, I simply don't know. The only problem that I have about the whole Andrade is a boogeyman thing is that it doesn't align with the facts. Yes, he wants to smoke now at 32 years old after fighting nobody. Yes, of course, you're going to beg for all these big fights. But if you really look at it, you're turning Demetrius Andrade into Jermall Charlo, because that's what Jermall Charlo has been doing. People pumped him all the way up like he was Canelo scared. Then he gets an offer and he ducks it. That's what I'm saying. Let's not play this game. Let's not act like this guy is the best we've ever seen. He's not. He hasn't proven it. Maybe. And here's the worst part about Andrade. He's wasted his entire career. Now he's not going up. At 32 years old, he's going to start to decline. At this point, He's going to start to decline, and you wasted your fucking career like a moron.
Right. I can't say it enough. I can't continue to keep saying that, your opposition is who defines you. And every time we have this Demetrius Andrade conversation, I can't keep going back to saying, yo, you got to fight who the best are that are available. Eddie Hearn even had to bring it to his attention. It almost seemed like it was a bait move because, it's been rumblings out there that, he hasn't mentioned Derevianchenko, that he even brought Derevianchenko to his attention. And now he's saying he'll fight him. Now, when this, quarantine is over, we're going to have to see what his action is like, because the words just ain't going to be enough at this point in your career, my brother. You're 32 years old. The resume is thin as fucking, you know, as thin as a piece of paper, bro. You got to get to work.
And look, and one last thing, and we'll get off the Andrade topic. I got my brother in here, and he said Billy Joe ducked Andrade. Billy Joe ducked Andrade, and Jermall Charlo ducked Andrade. So yes, those two fighters don't want to split with Andrade for some reason. And so I respect Andrade. I would never diss the facts. The facts are they did duck Andrade. Those are the facts. But my only thing is this. Andrade's in a desperate situation where he absolutely needs to beat somebody to make his resume better, to build himself up as a fighter. You're not going to make the Hall of Fame fighting Luke Keeler and Arthur Akabov. You're going to have to fucking do something. So you might have to move. And if Sergey Kovalev so easy at 175 and he had a belt, he should have moved his narrow head ass up there and got that work.
And you know what? I'll see.
This is what you gotta pay attention to at the end of the day. It don't matter who fucking ducked Demetrius Andrade at the end of the day, because his career isn't gonna be defined by who ducked him. It matters what opponents did he get in a ring with. So what we're saying is we're not denying the fact that a couple motherfuckers didn't duck him. We know that, but still, who has he gotten in the ring with outside of that? Nobody of too credible, notable mention. So that's
and he did duck it, and he ducked the fights that would have made him a name. He ducked Laura, right? He ducked Jermall. He got an offer for Derevyanchenko. The WBO ordered him to fight Korobov after him and his father was on social media saying how easy of a fight Korobov would be. He goes to then pull out of the fight and act like he had no idea about it. But your father was out here claiming that you would easily beat Korobov. Come on, bro. Like, he did it to himself, really.
Bro, and look at the double standard with the fans, right? Look at the double standard with the fans. Basically the idiots we talking about anyway, because y'all know I'm a Spence fan. So let's think about it. A lot of Spence fans, who were they backing also? Jermall Charlo, okay? But the same shit that they pumping Demetrius Andrade up for now is the same shit they was talking shit about him against when they would come to Charlo. Every time they came to Charlo, the same shit that they saying now that makes him so great, they was disrespecting him when they were talking about Charlo. But now, since it's about going after Canelo, oh, now he's just this great hero. Get the fuck out of here.
These motherfuckers want to have it both ways like hermaphrodites, man. You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't have it both ways, man. Like, look, you got to be 100% call it down the middle, man. You can't have it one way for one fighter and then another way for another fighter, man. That's why you got to be consistent with the facts, man. And the facts is, man, his resume is thinner than Deontay Wilder's. If that doesn't scare you, give you fucking goosebumps and make your hair stand up, I don't know what will, because it surely did mine. I mean, shit, I almost had a little nighttime urine behind that shit.
Yo, I'm just saying, like, imagine if Errol Spence said the shit that Andrade said about Laura, that the fight is the last resort paycheck. If he said that about Crawford, imagine the backlash he would get. But for Andrade, we're just going to ignore that, right? We're just going to act like he didn't say that, like he said he had no interest in fighting Erislandy Laura. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
So, unbiased, let me ask you one question. So why would somebody keep a different standard for Wilder and Spence, but change their standard for a guy like Andrade?
Oh, because they have an agenda. And I mean, I think the person we're talking about is also a casual, doesn't really know much about boxing anyways. So, you know,
yeah, for sure.
Pushing a narrative pretty much. He's just a dumb casual.
Now, with that being said, we got more to get into. We got to get into the Errol Spence thing, D. I want to ask you this. Errol Spence, does he beat a prime for prime Errol Spence, like he said, if he's focused, does he beat a prime Floyd Mayweather? I'm going to let you take that one first, D.
Yeah, let me go ahead and start this one first. I'm actually working on a video about my nigga Spence, but Spence must have been sipping on some Kool-Aid again or something. That Kool-Aid has something really spicy in it. Because that motherfucker done bumped his motherfucking head if he think he gonna beat a prime Floyd Mayweather. Let me tell you something. I'm always backing Spence, and this video I'm putting out now is actually getting ready to back him because I like what I heard. But that motherfucker done lost his goddamn mind. Ain't none of these bastards beating Floyd in their prime, bro. None of them. And I'll even debate Terrence Crawford as well. I don't think none of these motherfuckers beat Floyd in his prime. Not even close. So, of course Spence is gonna get up there like any other fighter, say, yeah, I'll win. But that motherfucker drunk. He's still drunk if he think he gonna beat Floyd. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Two hands. What do you think on this, man? This prime for prime, Spence, Floyd, who wins?
Man, it's truly signs of the fucking end is coming, man. The end is near. Motherfuckers is getting stupid and they're getting further and further away from fucking God every moment they open their fucking idiotic mouth. Like, how can this fool even sit up there and open his mouth and have nerve to say that he'll be the fucking Floyd Mayweather in his prime? Bro, you won't beat Floyd Mayweather right now. You wouldn't beat Floyd Mayweather when he was 55. You wouldn't beat Floyd Mayweather when he was on dialysis, have a goddamn pacemaker on his heart in his 80s, and he started smoking, had 2 cartons of fucking Newport because the hose is gone and he can't get up for him no more. Bro, at no point in your career could you beat Floyd Mayweather. Let's be honest here. Now, Errol Spence, bro, I understand. Now, look, now this is why I have to start to really think that he truly does have some form of freaking brain damage. I mean, I'm truly starting to think it's sinking in because, I mean, the shit he is saying is getting further and more further left by the moment. I mean, shoot, I understand, bro, you got a lot of time on your hand, and look, bro, if this is the way you trying to cash in on publicity, bro, I mean, this ain't the way to do it, bro, because it don't make you look good. It doesn't even, challenge the thought of people thinking it's a fight that you could win, bro. It just make motherfuckers look at you like you stupid and make me look at you like you're fucking retarded. Like you on the short bus licking the windows, bro. Like, seriously, what is this guy talking about right now? I mean, I pretty much probably just said all I needed to say right there, man, because if I went any harder on him, bro, he might be on suicide watch.
Woo! Unbiased. Who wins? Prime Floyd, prime Spence, and Spence said if he's focused.
Man, I think Floyd outboxes him. He doesn't have the tools to compete with a Floyd. You know what I'm saying? And his lifestyle. On top of that, we know Floyd is, his lifestyle is clean, so he's going to be focused 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And Spence has never really seen anything like Floyd. Like the sparring stories, that's cool, but we know stories like Floyd has gotten beat up in sparring before too by Paul Spadafore, Lamont Peterson broke his ribs. Like, come on, sparring don't mean nothing. Underneath those lights, Floyd would embarrass him and outbox him. And I gotta agree with D. I don't think Crawford beats a prime Floyd neither. You know what I'm saying? Floyd he's just a different type of boxer. He's an all-time great. You know what I'm saying? The adjustments he'll make for Spence will be in there looking like he's started boxing that day. So yeah.
So basically, what you're telling me, hold on, two ends. Basically, what you're telling me is that Spence will be back in the club dancing with another man on with a choker chain and a nose ring after Floyd gets through with him. Because I mean, if you think the car wreck was bad, he would get countered and dominated all fight. Think about it like this, fellas. Wasn't Errol Spence losing the fight against Kell Brook? Even Sporting Icons brought this up. I think if Kell Brook had never fought Triple G, he would have beat the hell out of Errol Spence in their fight. That's my opinion, because he was already winning early rounds, coming off a knockout loss and injury and weight drain. Imagine if he never fought Triple G. He would have beat the hell out of Spence. Spence is one-dimensional. This is what people don't understand. People come back and say, well, look what he did to Mikey. Mikey's a 135 fucking pound fighter who just put on a lot of fucking weight and went up to 147. What the fuck are we talking about? And then this dude goes life and death with Sean Porter. I'll give you this. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter in a clean fashion. Errol Spence did not do that.
Man, look, man, Errol Spence, the only thing Errol Spence will probably get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather and do is try to use his freaking nuts as a damn speed bag. 100%. That man gonna go gold medal nut hunting. I promise you that.
Let me ask you guys this. Jermall Charlo saying he's going up to 168 to take on David Benavidez when he's fought the who's who of Uber drivers at 160 pounds. What the fuck is he thinking? And why do so many people think? And he said the shit would be something like his brother Jermall fighting Erickson Lubin because, David Benavidez, it'll be the vet versus the kid. What do you guys think about that? I don't know who want to take it first.
Man, Jermall Charlo need to shut the fuck up. First and foremost, and it ain't just because of recent events. I think that Jermall's a better boxer overall than Jermall Charlo. Jermall is stronger and bigger, but he's not a better boxer than Jermall. When you look at the whole Erickson Lubin Benavidez comparison, I'll tell you where it makes no sense and why Jermall Charlo is stupid for even saying it. They were in the same fucking weight class. You idiot. You would have to go up to fight Benavidez, and you haven't done shit at 160 and barely did anything at 154. Jermall Charlo, you idiot. You will go up to 168 and get your ass knocked the fuck out.
Two hands. What do you got on Benavidez, Charlo, 68?
Look, man, y'all gotta understand, man. This is just Jermall Charlo in his freaking home gym after a nice shot of fucking D-ball. You know what I mean? Going to fight hype and just talking real crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was on them steroids. He was feeling hella good, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And that was the night when he shot up. He literally talked about shooting up to 168. So that's all it is. He doesn't have a chance against no damn David Benavidez. He will go up there and get killed, man. Like, I mean, shit, he looked pedestrian against, you know what I mean, fighters that are underneath 2 weight classes fighting against him at the weight he's at already right now. You know what I mean? Since he's the queen of the paper champs over there. So, I mean, I really can't take anything this guy says serious. You know, he's just, you know what I mean, he's just another branch from the tree that is Wilder 2.0. So I don't know,
man. Yeah, man. You know, this dude just clout chasing. That's what it looked like to me. You know, he turned down the Canelo fight. You know, he doesn't want to fight Andrade neither. It's like he doesn't want to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? So all you're doing is clout chasing. He definitely not going to move up and fight no damn David Benavidez unless he's planning on going to sleep, because there's no way in hell he could beat David Benavidez ever. You know what I'm saying? Just nah. Hell no.
Bro, I already did a fucking clout chasing video on this fucking idiot. It's definitely a clout chase. It's nothing more than a clout chase, because Jermall Charlo, you refuse to do anything at 160, and anybody and their mom knows that fucking David Benavidez is a much tougher fight than fucking Demetrius Andrade. So if you refuse to fight him for $7 million, what the fuck make you think the PBC gonna pay you anywhere close to that to get your ass beat by Benavidez, you idiot?
Hold on. Let me ask Two Hands this, because this is something I really been wanting to ask. Two Hands, if Jermall Charlo really does back up what he's saying instead of clout chasing, if he's really serious about this, is this going to be a case of cherry picking gone wrong?
This is gonna be the worst case of cherry picking gone wrong, and this is gonna be, you know what I mean, like it's gonna be a real bad case of fucking brain damage, man. You're gonna be watching an episode of VeggieTales.
Oh my goodness! Hold on. Let me ask you guys this: what do you guys think about what Tony Bellew said about Andy Ruiz? I mean, look, you don't have to be a big Andy Ruiz fan, but just be real about it. Tony Bellew saying he'll play with Ruiz, he'll easily beat him, like it's not even a challenge. To me, I think that was a little disrespectful about Andy Ruiz. Like, if I'm gonna just be honest and keep the same energy, Bellew was knocked out at light heavy and at cruiserweight, and yet, you know, he's had some good rounds against Usyk and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, to say that you'll play with Ruiz and you'll dominate, everybody can't do what AJ did to Andy Ruiz Jr. He got some elite skills in there. I mean, anybody want to take this?
No, man, you gotta understand, those are just the after, you know what I mean? Those are just the after effects from those tremors, from the concussions he suffered from getting fucking sparked by Adonis Stevenson and Alexander Usyk, bro. Like, you got sparked by Usyk, bro. And Usyk isn't considered to be a concussive puncher, my G. Like, shut your ass up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even want to go up. You never wanted to dance in heavyweight. He never wanted to take a shot at heavyweight. He complained about how when Wilder put his arm around him and shit, how he could tickle him on his chin and shit when he put his arm around him. And he said you wouldn't even fight that guy. So when you show that level of cowardice, saying you wouldn't even go up and fight another man, or you see another, or you're scared of another man in the same profession that you're in, bro, you're not going up there fighting the guy that stopped. Fighting the guy who beat the first time the so-called fighter you feel as though is the best heavyweight in the world, which is Anthony Joshua. So no.
D, what do you think about this, man? D, put the donut down and step on.
Hey man, it's just crazy, bro. I mean, like, these guys, it's just clout chasing, and a lot of these motherfuckers are clout chasing at this point because they're frustrated, they can't make no money. But that motherfucker ain't do shit. It's like, it's a lot of these guys who haven't done anything or who hasn't beat any anybody that's talking crazy. The only thing you'll do is just get slapped. That's what I think about it. You'll get slapped. I don't see him beating. I don't see him winning against anyone stepping up. I mean, like, you didn't show me enough when you in the weight class you was in. So all of these motherfuckers hollering about stepping up, like, you ain't showing me shit yet. So stepping up, I'm just looking at it like you're gonna get your ass beat regardless of what you do.
Yeah, Tony Bellew definitely, is not no damn Anthony Joshua. Let's keep that real. I feel like, the only fight he had at heavyweight was an old David Hay who was like malfunctioning, his foot broke or some shit. So, like, come on, bro. At heavyweight, he would get washed by Andy Ruiz. He wouldn't be able to keep away from him. Nothing he would throw would even hurt Andy Ruiz in the first place. Not like Tony Bellew is a big puncher. So, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about, honestly. He just must be bored at home. This coronavirus got everybody's head all fucked up.
This coronavirus got people getting brain damage and shit. Like,
right. It's like this man tired of being, you know what I'm saying, the champion in his home. He the bomber in his house, but that's only when he using the fucking toilet, man. He trying to come off of that fucking, he's trying to come off of that title, man. He's trying to get back in the ring.
Oh man, Immortal Boxing Truth. Salute, my brother. You got anything you want to add on that topic or any other topic? Or, if you wanted to ask some bias, something about the Andrade situation, anything you want to speak on?
Yeah, just really quick to talk about that Bellew situation. It seems like a total clout chase. I mean, really, we have to look at the facts. And the facts are that Bellew got sparked at 175 and by Usyk, right? And Usyk's, like you said, not a big power puncher. He twisted his neck 180 degrees. What do you think a 260-pound Andy Ruiz is going to do to him? It's a complete clout chase, and he's lucky he's retired.
Oh, man. He is not playing today. Immortal Boxing Truth. Salute, my brother. That was straight fire. Look, I'm going to be real with you, man. Tony Bellew smoking crack. Jermall Charlo smoking crack. Everyone smoking crack. These guys need to be drug tested because this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, the coronavirus got these guys knowing that they can't fight anybody right now. So they're just talking all this shit when they know they can't back it up. That's really what all this is.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's all it is, man. And like I said, tensions are high, bro. And not only that, and some of these guys' defense, we got to think about it. These motherfuckers, you got to be a warrior to get in there and fight for a living anyway. So these motherfuckers want to fight, bro. They need to let go of some of that energy, and they can't do it right now. So this shit got them fucking stir crazy, saying all kind of crazy shit out their mouth. I could beat Floyd Mayweather. That's that stir crazy shit, bro.
They just trying to basically keep the value of boxing up by saying ridiculous shock value shit. Like, come on, bro. Let's keep it real, so I feel like they're just trying to keep their name relevant and keep the sport of boxing being talked about. So everybody out here saying different shocking shit like, oh, I could beat Floyd in his prime. I heard Mikey Garcia say Errol Spence is nothing special, and he didn't show that he beat me. I'm like, what are you talking about? You just did an interview saying some shit like that. I'm like, we clearly saw him outbox you for a full 12. You know what I'm saying? So everybody out here cloud chasing. That's what it's looking like.
And look, let me just get on Mikey Garcia. For him to say something that's stupid, you lose every round to a guy and you're still talking about he didn't show that he beat you. Look, I'm going to put it like this. I have a higher standard for Errol Spence against welterweight, so I think he was supposed to knock him out. But nonetheless, he beat him in a clear and clean fashion. He beat the hell out of that man. So what the hell are you talking about? He didn't beat you. Mikey Garcia, please stand up and slap the shit out yourself for being there.
Look, I'm going to tell you one thing, Mikey Garcia. You need to chill the fuck out because that, man, look. Errol Spence peppered the fuck out that quesadilla. That jab was peppering his ass all night, bro.
Oh man. Look, let me ask you guys this. Is this Mikey Garcia recently came out and said he wanted Terrence Crawford, all these guys. How do you see Mikey competing with everybody at 147? Can he beat anybody, any other top welterweights? Because that makes me feel like you're clout chasing if you can't beat one. So, I mean, I think that Crawford, he might look good a little bit in the fight because Crawford likes to trade, but eventually I think Crawford stops him. I think the only fight that he has a chance in is Danny Garcia because they both have low work rates, both counter punches. It'll be a terrible, boring fight, but I think Danny Garcia is skilled enough, big enough to just slightly edge the fight. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna tell you like this: Mikey Garcia need to goddamn find the biggest fight he could get into and retire. Go on and sell his damn health treats and whatever else he doing, because that motherfucker not beating none of them. Not even Danny. Danny sparks his ass, puts him away. He's not gonna beat Pacquiao. He's not gonna beat Sean Porter. He ain't gonna beat Errol Spence or Crawford, which Spence already washed him. So, man, Mikey Garcia, look, man, you tried, you came up, you attempted to be great, and it didn't work out. Now take your ass back down to 140 or retire. Hang the gloves up.
Anybody else got some on this Mikey situation?
Yeah, I think Mikey has a decent chance against some fighters like like you're saying, Danny Garcia, or maybe even Keith Thurman, because we don't really know how he's doing. But I don't think he can beat Crawford or Spence, and that's where the future of the division is at. So I don't really see a point of being here. I think the more appealing division for him is super lightweight, right? And we can see him possibly face the winner or loser of Regis Hooker. I think that'd be a good fight. I just want to see him mix it up there. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from welterweight Manny Pacquiao. Mikey Garcia.
Do you
Man,
think
listen,
that
man.
oh, my bad, real quick, too, and you go first, please.
Man, listen, man. Look at that boy body at 147, man. Look at his ab section, bro. Man, if you don't take your ass back down to 140, 135, man, like seriously, bro. Like you went up there half retarded. You did it all the way wrong, man. You should have fought Vargas before you fought Errol Spence, bro. You went at this shit all the way backwards. Now I'm gonna give you credit for your win, but my thing is, bro, where do you go after this, bro? Where do you go? Because I mean, the top talent at 147. I mean, you really ain't trying to run into that. I mean, a guy like Sergey Lipinets, you definitely don't want to get hit by something like that. I mean, honestly, like right now, I just feel like the best course of action for you is to go ahead, you know what I'm saying, take one of them nice ass supercars you be driving, man, put that joint in U-turn, take your ass down to 140 or something like that, bro, because I just don't see you holding no real metal up there. Now, if you're trying to wait around for a Manny Pacquiao fight, I mean, that's something that probably fits him, stature, you know what I mean, and size-wise. But outside of that, bro, I just don't see it, man. It's like, you know what I mean, Immortal just said, he better at 140.
Yep, exactly. Since he moved up, bro, his feet is slower. His punch, his work rate slower. I mean, lesser, and his hand speed is slower. He's just not the same fighter he was at 135, where he was quick on his feet, position his feet quick, and he was a good fighter at 135. I think he could beat Lomachenko down there, but you know what I'm saying, at 147, he's not the same. I don't think he beats Manny. I don't think he beats Crawford. I don't think he beats Spence. I don't know if he even beats Danny. I don't think he beats Ugas. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He just need to go to 140. I mean, he may not beat Josh Taylor or them guys neither, but I think he has a better chance. You know what I'm saying? So at 147, to me, if that's the case, just get a big money fight and then go back down to 140 if you want to compete down there, if you want to retire, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see him beating nobody at 147.
IBT.
Yeah, what's up?
IBT. Immortal Fox.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think that Mikey beats any of these top guys like Ugas, aside from the other dudes?
Like I said, I don't think he beats the top welterweights, and he might be able to beat some of the lower end of the top 10. But I don't want to see that. You'd rather see someone be elite at another division than pretty good at welterweight. So he should really move down or get a big fight and then move down. But I don't want to see him continue to campaign there.
Now, I just seen a statement in the chat where a guy was like, Canelo would have lost to Danny Jacobs, if Danny Jacobs would have upped his work rate.
Is that Myron? Is that Myron Magnus?
I don't think so. And
look, man. Oh, y'all motherfuckers is terrible today.
Oh my God. And
Whoever said that, did they watch the goddamn fight? Let me tell you something, man. What y'all got to do? It was who?
I think I understand where he's coming from, though. I kind of get what he's trying to say, because Danny Jacobs got a tendency of shooting himself in the foot like he did in the Triple G fight. Like this motherfucker, like turning, like going to southpaw and shit. Bruh, keep your ass out of southpaw, man. Like when he orthodox, he does better. He has better moments in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like those orthodox moments in the fight, he has better moments. You know what I'm saying? Like he does have his little spots in the fight where he look good, but up that win though.
You know what? He got the Badu Jack syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Because he give away all them rounds early, right? Then he'll start trying to come on strong in round 7 or around 8, one of them late rounds, and then want to complain about how close the fight was and he should have won and all this other shit. But really, how many rounds did you really give Danny Jacobs in that fight? You know, people were telling Canelo that he must fight another champion after that because it looked like a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't get it. Like, people were then saying that fight was almost like a tune-up for Canelo.
Yeah,
but
Danny
now,
was getting beat up in that.
Do you want to go or I'll go?
Oh, no, anybody go. Whoever wants the next, you can go.
Yeah, so the whole idea of Danny Jacobs should have just let his hands go, it's a fallacy because what happens was when he did let his hands go, Canelo would slip it like we saw and then counter it. And doing that over and over and over again, that will dissuade you from letting your hands go. So that's why in the first 6 rounds, Danny Jacobs won. Maybe he won 1 or a maximum 2 rounds. You know what I mean? So it's not like he just didn't let his hands go. He was forced to stay defensive, to be passive, and that's kind of the pattern that people fall into with Canelo, and that's where they mess up because they keep getting countered and they can't deal with the defense and the power shots, right? I mean, we saw Canelo moving under his jabs in round 4, and he made a highlight reel out of Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs is a good champion. He's not afraid of any smoke. You know what I mean? He fights the best, and he doesn't really complain about it. So this whole idea that he just didn't throw punches, that's not how it works. You know, it's not like Canelo was just standing there letting him throw punches.
Look, I'll put it like this. Hold on, too. I just want to say this one thing. This is the one thing that really bugs me is that Danny Jacobs is a hell of a fighter. This guy's beating Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think he went up against 3 or 4 undefeated fighters in a row before he got Canelo, won the world title. And you know what? But when it comes to Canelo, people want to discredit the win like Danny Jacobs isn't better than everybody else at 160. Like, I just don't understand. Like, Danny Jacobs is probably one of the best fighters in the division. Him, Triple G, and Canelo are the best 3 fighters at 160, hand down. And I see Charlo calling out, you know, Canelo and Triple G, but he really don't want to fight Jacobs. Like, that never made sense to me. And you might have said some shit, but then when Jacobs walked up to him, he tucked his tail between his legs. All of this goes back to nobody wanting to give Canelo credit for a win. He got the credit. He needed to get the credit for beating Danny Jacobs because if Andrade would have did it, Charlo would have did it, it would have been the best name on their fucking resume, and everybody would have wrote that like a rodeo show. You go next to it. My bad.
Man, look, at the end of the day, I mean, you can try to discredit the individual all day long. You can sound as tough as whatever, you know, when you talking shit from a distance, but you're not getting into the square, you know. But when this other individual is going out and he's proving himself time and time and time again against fighters that, you know, nobody is going out here and they're willing to touch. Yeah, you can sit up there and you can talk about it look easy when you on the outside of the ring and you won't even dare to even challenge, you know what I mean, a quarter of the opposition that this man is facing. Yeah, that shit sound real funny to me. But I mean, the fact is, you know, Canelo beat Danny Jacobs' ass, man. And Danny Jacobs don't have nobody self to blame besides Danny Jacobs, because this is the facts of life when it comes to Danny Jacobs, man. When Danny Jacobs is on, he's on. But Danny Jacobs, man, he has a tendency to just go rogue, man, and his brain just goes somewhere off in the clouds, and you know what I mean? He just stopped listening to the corner and just start trying to do his own damn thing in the ring and just be getting hit up. Like, I don't understand it, bro, because I think Danny Jacobs could do a lot better. I just think that, you know, sometimes his brain just goes a little.
Hold on. Ace is in here smoking crack. We got a full-blown crackhead in the building, everybody. So I want everybody to turn your attention to Ace. And Ace said, Canelo Alvarez, no Joyce. This is probably the dumbest, most stupidest, most casual comment I've ever seen. And Ace, you know, I respect your opinion, no matter how stupid or ignorant it is. I do respect it. And one thing I'll tell you is this. Canelo literally is already an all-time great. Canelo Alvarez from 160 to 168 would be favored to beat everybody. Everybody. He would be favored to beat everybody between 160 and 168. I don't know a fighter you would put as a heavy favorite over him right now. I don't know one. So for you to say that Joe Joyce is not even favored to beat Daniel Dubois, and he's not a world champion, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how can one equal the other? Do you guys want to speak on this or what?
Bruh, is he serious?
This is crackhead talk.
Canelo, is Joe Joyce, is he retarded? Like, does he watch boxing?
Hold on. And what I'm going to do, because I know this is what Unbiased does right before he's ready to body somebody. I'm going to drop the link just in case, Ace, you want to jump on and speak your piece. But go, keep going, Unbiased. My bad.
I don't understand how you could even compare the two. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce is a stiff robot. You know, Canelo has phenomenal lateral movements. He's beaten Hall of Famers. He's made easy work of Danny Jacobs that we just said. Like Joe Joyce, who'd he beat? Like Stavern? You know what I'm saying? To even Brian Jennings, to even compare the two lets us all know that you don't know nothing about boxing and you're a casual. Like, that's just a fact. You're a casual. To even compare Joe Joyce to Canelo, you need to actually watch boxing. That's what I'm telling you. Go watch boxing for real.
Facts.
Yeah, it was a casual comment that really exposes what you know about the sport. They don't really have anything in common besides maybe they're both flat-footed, come forward fighters, but Canelo can also go backwards. He has a good head movement, unlike Joe Joyce. His hands are not ridiculously slow like Joe Joyce. He fights good opposition and beats them solidly, unlike Joe Joyce. I mean, Joe Joyce is, you know, not even the favorite to beat a prospect, like you were saying. So how are they even comparable? If Canelo retired right now, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
he doesn't know how to cut the ring off. Joe Joyce like Canelo. He doesn't fucking have the ring generalship Canelo has. He doesn't have the fucking IQ Canelo has. He doesn't have the fucking experience or the resume. It is a ridiculous and stupid fucking comparison. Don't even speak of Joe Joyce when you talk about Canelo.
Listen, man, I ain't even going to say all that D just said. D just pretty much spoke, you know what I mean? He pretty much gave you all of my energy. I'm going to just say this, man. I saw a motherfucking Joe Joyce throw a fucking right hook in motherfucking Bermain Stavern in the second round, man. I went to the corner store, man, to go get some goddamn Lifesavers gummies, man, for my daughter, man. Came back with some wraps, bro. He just got finished throwing the goddamn hook and it connecting to his damn face.
Oh my God. And look, then now he says Canelo needs to fight Andrade. So now Canelo needs to fight Andrade?
Oh, we get it now. Now we get it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you're one of those Andrade fanboys. It all makes sense. Most of the Andrade fans are casuals anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because if they weren't casuals, they'd know about Andrade's career. So we get it now.
Because I'm like, wouldn't Andrade need to fight Canelo? Like, I don't think Canelo's in a position where he needs to fight anybody. Literally, Canelo, at this point, if he never fought another world champion, never fought anybody else good again, at this point, he'd go into the Hall of Fame just off what he's done at 29 years old. But my thing is, he's wanting to fight champions, wanting to fight the best. I want to see a Canelo Andrade fight. I would really love to see all of this resolved. I'm not rooting against the fight. I'm just saying it seems stupid to say that Canelo needs to fight Andrade. Wouldn't it be the other way around? Because Andrade's the one that needs to make the Hall of Fame, to make himself a respected name in the sport. Wouldn't the need be the other way around?
Man, Andrade never making the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Luke Keeler and Liam and whoever he's about to fight, none of them guys are going to get him in the Hall of Fame. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you just need to make the best of his career. Dude, that's what we should advise him to do, to be honest.
It makes no sense. You know, some of the things these people say make no sense at all. How the fuck are you the highest paid athlete, period? That's number one. Highest paid athlete, number one. How the fuck are you the face of boxing? How the fuck are you arguably number one pound for pound? And you need a fucking Andre that hasn't done a goddamn thing. I mean, what the hell, bro? Like my brother New say, go somewhere and smack yourself for that.
And hold on, and he keeps saying, you know, Andrade would beat all these guys. So I'll tell you what, Ace, I dropped the link. Click the link and tell me how Andrade beats everybody. Tell me how Andrade just wipes the floor with everybody.
Split decision with Jack Colkay. He's just going to go in there and beat everybody else, though, easily, right? Come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some more of his comments, and he's saying that Canelo doesn't move a lot. He's saying that Canelo only moved versus Floyd. He's saying Andre beats Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, and Canelo. So clearly, he's already exposed himself as an Andre fanboy. He's not clicking the link. You know, this is an obvious duck.
I mean, unbiased. I mean, is it possible this could be a troll account or something? Like, for all we know, this is somebody really want to show their face. Look, at the end of the day, these guys get on here and just fanboy for guys, and they don't want to say anything. Like I mean, in Sporting Icons, my brother says Billy Joe schools Andrade 12-0. What you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think so, probably. I mean, he does probably. I think he would. I mean, we know Andrade did have a chance to fight.
Oh, hell no.
Saunders.
We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to jump out here, act like this nigga Demetrius Andrade straight trash and like Billy Joe Saunders is going to school this man 12-0. Now, I done listened to a whole lot of shit, but I ain't going to listen to that. We ain't going to do that.
He also says Andrade versus Crawford would be a good fight. So, I mean, we've already debunked.
That's
really, Andrade versus
fight,
Crawford.
That's straight 50-50. Say that man to get washed 12-0, man. Come on, man. Somebody else smoking some crack in this motherfucker too.
Yeah, I actually favor Andrade in that matchup. I think Billy Joe ducked for a reason, you know?
I do as well.
I think it's a 50-50 fight, and I think Andrade's height and reach could play a major factor in it. But it could really go either way because both of those guys, you know, I mean, at this point, I'm not really too impressed with what the competition either one of these guys are facing. So I don't think it'll be a 12-0 like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, probably not a 12-0. I mean, but I would probably favor Billy Joe Saunders in it.
Only it's cool to favor him. And I mean, if you feel like he beat him 12-0, that's cool. But we're not going to dog this man, act like this man straight trash. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders, I mean, he do have a better resume, but I mean, his resume ain't that outstanding to where, you know what I'm saying? He's somebody to be praised and exalted, to be putting his name up in the stars. We going to shit on this man and just run this man's name through the mud like that. Because, I mean, Demetrius Andrade ain't trash. We not going to do him like that, man. We all better than that on this panel, the man, to try to shit on that man like that.
Now, Miguel Mojica says Billy Joe Saunders has a better defense than Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, I think so. Better footwork too, I'd say too.
I will give him that. It appears that Andrade's defense is a little bit sloppy. He does get caught a little bit more. I think it's more of an illusion or a little bit of hype about it, how great his defense. He is defensively sound, but I don't think it's as good as it's being pumped up to be. That's all I'm saying.
I say both of those guys make for a really good fight because both of them are slick. It could make it for a real good fight, or it could make for a boring fight. It all depends on how slick and counteractive them dudes. It all depends on the activity. Because if they want to be counteractive, but ain't really, you know what I'm saying, high on the, you know, the punch output, that shit could just look like a poor standoff. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it could be a high IQ, you know what I mean, boxing match between two very slick, you know what I mean, counter defensive, you know what I mean, and counter offensive fighters, you know, but that can make for a recipe for disaster as well. But
and let me say this right quick, man, because it ain't really about hating Andre. Yeah, we've been bashing him, but I've been saying that this motherfucker was overrated, and I've never given him any praise. You know, now I agree with Mr. Two Hands. I'm not saying he's trash, but I think he's severely overrated. And as far as DJ,
no, I didn't have one problem with that. My thing was when we sitting up there saying that man Billy Joe Saunders is gonna wash this man 12-0. That's why I had a problem with it.
I don't think that either. I think that Billy Joe Saunders, I would edge Billy Joe Saunders in the fight, but this why. This the only reason why. I think that they're both kind of close in skill set. They both fight similar, like you guys explained. Well, one thing that I always say about Demetrius Andrade, I don't see in Billy Joe Saunders. He's timid. He's afraid to engage, and Billy Joe is not. That's going to be the edge, bro, in that fight with him.
Two Hands. Sporting Icons clarified his statement on the 12-0 rounds, and he basically states that Andrade is not trash. Billy is just better than people think, improving it against better opponents than Andrade has. So basically, he's saying he's just much higher on Billy Joe Saunders, believe he's a much better fighter than people realize. And Andrade, he's a good quality fighter, but he's just not at the same level is what he's basically trying to say, I think, what he's saying.
I agree with that 1,000%. That's why I was just saying, like, yo, I mean, to act like, you know what I mean, that, you know, him clarifying it that way, because, like, he do got the Chris Eubanks under his belt. He do got the Andy Lee. He do got the David Lemieux. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Demetrius Andrade don't have none of that. So, you know what I mean? I can't give him that. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit up there and just act like that man trash where he gonna get washed 12-0. But I do definitely respect where he coming from, clarifying it that way. Yeah, 100%.
And then here's the thing. This is the interesting thing about Demetrius Andrade. All he needs is one shot, and he can prove everybody wrong about how good or not good he is right now. Just needs one shot and takes it. And I agree. Some guys don't want to fight him. Like Jermall Charlo will run for the hills from him. And I really do think that Billy Joe Saunders ducked Demetrius Andrade because he had multiple opportunities to fight him at this point. So now the key is to get Andrade in a good fight that makes sense, that you can get him going. Now, who's the perfect fight for him right now? Because if Charlo's talking about going to 68, then maybe they can get the Deverenchenko fight going.
That's a good ass fight.
That's the best fight for him right there, Deverenchenko.
I've been saying that from the jump. It seemed like that it makes the most sense. That makes the most sense. And I mean, it's the only logical sense for him at this point. I mean, it seems like nobody else has any time for him right now. But Sergey, he ready and willing, so go ahead and get him.
Now, do you think that at some point Demetrius Andrade needs to be looking to move up, or should he stay at 160? Because there seem to be all the smoke is really sitting at 168, because I think the smoke is following Canelo. Wherever Canelo goes is where people tend to want to go. So it looks like, and then they already got a lot of good fighters at 168. Would it make sense for Demetrius Andrade to move up to 168? Can he compete with those guys unbiased?
I don't know, man. I think that, like, who are we talking about? Like Callum Smith and them? I don't know.
Smith, Plant. How does Demetrius Andrade fare against the landscape at 168?
Yeah, nah. I don't know about his chin. I don't know about his chin at 160, to be honest with you. So going up there, those guys can crack. You know, they land on him, he might go to sleep. There's some big punchers up there. I don't know. So
what do you think, Two Hands?
Maybe Billy, if he fights Billy.
I think honestly, it would serve Demetrius Andrade to go up to 168, even if he fought or he was just running his damn mouth, like in a sense what he's doing right now. Because I mean, it's the appealing division. It's where more of the action is at. Shit, I mean, him running his mouth at 160 right now, and he ain't got one credible scalp underneath his belt. Is not really going to do him any fucking favors, especially when Charlo gone.
Now, what do you think? Does he make sense? Can he do something at 168? How does he fare?
Nah, again, bro, I'm not convinced in him. I mean, I might come off as a Demetrius Andrade hater, but I don't think he beats any of those motherfuckers because I got Billy Joe Saunders edging him out, and technically, I think Billy Joe is probably one of the weaker 168 champions. So I don't see Andre making no noise up there.
Immortal Box. What do you think? Does Demetrius Andrade compete at 168 with everybody, or how do you have him breaking down in that division?
I think mostly just because his height and reach, he would be okay. But in terms of power, I think he would get beat by Benavidez. You know, I don't really want to entertain these guys moving up like Charlo and Andrade because they haven't even done anything at middleweight yet. You know, so how can I accurately gauge them at super middleweight if I'm still judging them off the work from junior middleweight?
That's a great point. That's an absolute point. Right now, the fighters that have to prove something after COVID has to be Jermall Charlo, has to be Demetrius Andrade. Even Sergey Deverenchenko, in some way, he does have something to prove because, you know, look, a lot of people felt like he beat Triple G, so he needs to come back, follow that up with another great performance against somebody where he can get a belt. I mean, we want to see these fights. Deontay Wilder, I mean, at this point, we haven't really touched on him this episode, but we really got to touch on him a little bit. Is there anything that George Foreman can do to get this man a chance, just a fucking chance against Tyson Fury?
Me first. Let me tell you something, bro. The only man that can be in that corner to help Deontay Wilder out is Jesus Christ himself. And he better bring a miracle with him. Other than that, Deontay Wilder getting his ass knocked out again. You cannot stick in this little bit of time. I don't give a fuck. Deontay Wilder needs at least 2 fights because here's my thing. What Deontay Wilder needs to beat Tyson Fury, you can't put it in him, at least without him trying it out for 2 fights. He's going to get his ass whooped because Tyson Fury has already shown the ability to adjust. Wilder has not adjusted since he's been boxing. So if Tyson Fury comes in there and does anything differently, it blows their whole fucking game plan. How are they even going to plan for the man? He's a switch hitter. He can do too much. Wilder's getting his ass whipped again.
Two hands. I know you about to murder this, man. I'm waiting on this.
I just feel as though, honestly, you know, you bringing in fucking George Foreman, that just shows how fucking stupid, you know, Deontay Wilder is and how much he knows absolutely nothing about boxing. Why are you going to bring in a fucking right hand to fucking learn about a fucking, what is he going to teach you? That's what he specializes in, his fucking right hand. What is he going to teach you? A lead fucking left, right? I mean, that's what you already do well. So, I mean, shit, like I said, once again, you already had a guy who does things well that could teach you what you need to know. You need to be, you know what I mean, learning the fundamentals of boxing, take it back down to basics, break that shit back down, bruh. Break it back down. You need to go back to the training wheels. Go back to your first fucking beginner bike. Throw some training wheels on it and learn how to ride it, because that's the only thing that can help you for real. The fundamentals of boxing, because really he wouldn't win the fight anyway. So the fundamentals of boxing will help him to where he can defend himself better. It will help him to where he might look more efficient going through more rounds, but winning, he don't stand a chance. And bringing in George Foreman, I mean, shit, unless he's going to try to take in some stock into the Foreman grills or some shit like that to earn some money after his career, I don't see why the fuck he would bring him in. Because what is a right hand going to teach a right hand? Absolutely nothing. Like, he just need to let that shit go. I don't see that helping, bro. He needs to bring in somebody that will really critique him and really is going to have the ability to break him down where he's genuinely going to listen to what somebody has to say. If he's not going to do that, then he might as well just go ahead and just walk in there and just get his ass whooped with what he already knows now.
Unbiased, IBT, anything this guy can do.
Yeah, you know, nah, man. Like nothing could save this guy from the ass whooping that was inevitable. The belt will stay with Fury. You know, Fury and AJ are in talks. I think that's the best bet. You know what I'm saying? Just negotiate the next fight with AJ, because it's gonna be the same outcome. Fury's just gonna beat his ass. Wilder, there's nothing he could do, man. Like, he's gonna have to poison Fury or some shit. Like, they gotta, I don't know, but yeah, in the ring, nah, it's just over.
What do you think, IBT?
Yeah, so I think it'd be great to finally see Fury get a defense on his record, and by knockout as well. I don't really see Wilder do anything new in this fight that's going to be impactful. Like Dee said, there's too many things to prepare for. He arguably won the first fight, and even then still decided to make adjustments to dominate in the second fight, right? I don't think he can learn to box at age 34 when he's been fighting his whole career and hasn't bothered to learn until now. Fury's been fighting. He's, you know, now developed power. He's developed a good style that he's only going to get better at as time goes on. I don't even see Wilder having a good puncher's chance like he normally had, because we saw Fury walk into a couple right hands and he was fine. So yeah, I don't really see anything happening to Fury where he doesn't just stop Wilder again.
I still give him a puncher's chance. I still give him that, because, you know, his power, to me, his power is still there. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all he has, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't even give him his normal puncher's chance where he can knock him out big. You know what I mean? I don't think Fury's going to fall asleep like that very easily.
Well, see, I said something similar to that too, because it was on one of the lives. I think maybe here on Nuke's live. But what I was saying was this: that rematch, I gave Wilder a 50-50 chance against Fury. I said, okay, it's a 50-50 fight because Wilder got eliminated, blah, 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 blah. But when Fury goes in there and nullifies that right hand, that lessens his chance of that only one trick getting through. So now it's basically like 80-15, 85-15, 90-10. That motherfucking
it's
right hand
there,
chances has diminished. Yeah, it's still there, but they have diminished a lot.
But honestly, let's be realistic. Okay, in the rematch, didn't we give him, wasn't the rematch based off him having a puncher's chance, his right hand supposedly being this equalizer? So I kind of think that whole puncher's chance theory is kind of gone out the window, because he was living off of a puncher's chance in the rematch. So realistically, what is this, the puncher's chance of a puncher's chance match?
That's all he has. That's all he's ever had with Fury. And
Yeah, so it's
now
like at this
that's
point now,
still there. I wouldn't
yeah,
say 50-50 though. It's more
it's
like
No,
like
that's why I said
I'm
like
just saying, in my
15%,
opinion now.
10% pain.
exactly.
I'm
Yep.
just saying, in my opinion now, if the whole campaign in the rematch was based off of, okay, you know, Tyson Fury is the better boxer. Fury's going to go out there. Either way, he wins by decision. Deontay Wilder has no chance if he knocks him out. That's a whole puncher's chance right there. If he just went out there and smashed him 7 rounds, mauled him, beat him up, smothered the right hand, got touched by the right hand in the first 2 rounds while he was fresh, it didn't even budge him at 273. In the third fight, if he's got a puncher's chance, then I mean, like shit. I mean, in my opinion, I can't call it a puncher's chance because he had a puncher's chance in the second fight. At this point, the only thing he could do is just show up and get stripped butt naked. In my opinion, like.
So let me ask you this, Hamed. What do you think about all of this?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Hamed.
All right. I was gonna say a puncher's chance just means if you land, if you get lucky. I actually, let me retract that. I don't like using the word lucky because I think if anyone lands a punch, I think they earned the right to land that. So I don't think lucky is the right word. But let's just see if they get the shot in, or some people say if they get the gamble in, and out of, I don't know, 1 out of a 10 chance, they just get a sneaky punch in, which the other guy didn't see. Yeah, he's got a chance. I think with the first 2 fights, you have to say, a lot of people are basing the rematch off the first fight. Obviously, I picked Fury, but I also said that if Wilder lands, he can't knock him out because we've seen in the 12th round. If that was anyone else, I'm pretty sure they would have been counted out. I'm surprised even the referee at that time, I was saying that he let that go on, because in boxing, a lot of referees normally just wave the fight off. Obviously, he did the right thing. I'm not saying it was the wrong thing, but normally they don't even give the guy a chance. But that was good. He gave Fury a chance. Fury proved that he got back up and he hurt Wilder. That was the right thing to do. But generally, if these guys fight, to me, it looks like Fury's just a better boxer. In that first fight, some people thought he won 10 rounds. I wouldn't go that far. I thought Fury won about 8 or 9 rounds. I watched the fight twice. I think first time live, I thought it was a bit closer. But I think Fury clearly, I thought, won that fight about 8 or 9 rounds. But Wilder, to me, is getting worse and getting... This style is not the right style. I personally think he should just let Fury go and try and fight someone else. Maybe Ruiz to regroup or someone like that. And then maybe try and fight the winner of AJ.
Let me jump in here real quick. I mean, the only thing I want to say about this is this. I think Tyson Fury, I picked Tyson Fury to win both fights. And the first time I picked Tyson Fury to win the first fight, everybody said I was crazy. Tyson Fury's going to get knocked the fuck out. What are you doing? You're going to embarrass yourself. I'm telling you, no, Fury's going to school Wilder. Wilder's just not technically sound. I had literally just started my channel, and I said that. And you know what? I followed it, and Deacon recount that everybody doubted me. Then in the rematch, before the rematch, all these Tyson Fury fans have come out of nowhere, and I said Fury's going to knock out Deontay Wilder. I was called crazy as hell again, and yet he did it. So I picked Fury twice. Now I'm starting to get the feeling that people are thinking that Deontay Wilder is still not dangerous with a right hand at any moment. Deontay Wilder is still dangerous for Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder still has a puncher's chance, but I think Deontay Wilder has to realize he going to George Foreman, doing all this other shit. That's not what got you here. What got you here was being a one-trick pony. That's really what it is. And you haven't learned shit up until this point. You're not going to learn shit at this point. So what you need to do is go back, and he put on like 30 pounds or whatever he put on. He needs to lose back the weight, just be himself and try to land that lucky punch. If it lands, he has a chance, but he has a better chance doing that than trying to reform himself, because it's not going to fucking happen. I mean,
you know what his problem was? He was trying to be too patient, right? The Deontay Wilder in the first fight would have gave Fury a better fight in the rematch, because he just went for it. The Deontay Wilder in the second fight was being way too patient, which
but they both fought different fights. So.
Right, exactly.
I don't
which
think
allowed
that's fair
Fury
to say.
Go ahead. I'm biased.
Way too patient, which made Fury have the whole advantage. everything. He did everything he wanted in there. He beat him at long distance, in close, inside. He beat him at every single range you could think of. So, you know what I'm saying? If Wilder would have just went for it like he did in the first fight, then it would have been a different type of fight. I think Fury still would have whooped his ass, but at least he would have put up a better effort.
But those are two different. Fury first fight, Fury was like really fat, like his body mass, whatever, looked like. The guy still looked like in the whole training camp was just cutting weight, just trying to get down in weight. And another thing was he wasn't as sharp or as technical. It looked like the guy was rusty. It looked like it took him a couple of rounds but it's just Wilder's so bad that Fury made him look even worse. But at the same time, Fury is really that good. I think at 60-70% he's good enough to beat guys like Wilder. But at the same time, he wasn't really ready. I think it was one fight too early for him to really beat someone like Wilder convincingly. I still thought he won the first fight, but to do what he wanted to do in the second fight, I think he needed a bit more time, man. I think if Fury fights like that, trying to back Wilder up like he did in the second fight, it don't matter what Wilder does. I think Wilder will either get knocked out earlier or just get beaten up even more and take a sustained beating. If he lets his hands go, he's gonna maybe have a more chance of landing more shots, but at the same time, he's very flawed. He's got one hand, basically.
That's his only chance. That's my thing. Like, if you look, we all know he's gonna get his ass whooped. Like, let's keep it real. But if I was him, I would go in there and just start winging shots like I used to. That gives me a better chance. Exactly. Because if you're sitting there trying to outbox Fury, what are you doing? Like, you're that.
But in the first fight, he missed a lot of right hands. Like, you take that 12th round out. I know what you're trying to say.
Like, so
but,
what?
Like,
he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss regardless.
Relax. You the same individual on Twitter talking about you don't like StreamYard when I told you to pull up the next day and debate. Now you want to pull up on here saying you don't know who people are, but you want to take up everybody's time. Let the man talk, and then you could jump in. Like, damn.
I am letting him talk. What the hell?
I thought you don't like StreamYard.
Finish, whatever.
I thought you don't like StreamYard. I thought you don't like StreamYard.
I don't.
You seem like you love it. You fucking love it, buddy.
You and your feelings. I'm
not in my feelings. The fact is, you just a Tyson Fury fan. You just turned Tyson Fury fanboy overnight. You know what I mean? When I wanted to have a debate with you about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, you ducked it. You said you didn't like StreamYard. Let me finish, pussy. Let me finish, pussy. You said you didn't like StreamYard, and you wanted to invite me in some little backdoor butt booty, butt boy pirate little hangout on Google. I said, let's do it live in front of 200 people, in front of a 14,000.
Bro, get the hell out of here. I don't even know who you are.
And you said you didn't want to do it. You ducked it. You said you didn't like StreamYard, right? Yeah, that's right. You ran from it. You said you didn't like StreamYard. And look at you. I saw you on Ring IQ. We was on there for like 3 straight hours. You was on there. I didn't say one word because we was on Ring IQ shit. Then you pull up here talking all of this Tyson Fury Confucius talk. Man, kill all of that and catch your fucking breath.
Ooh,
you don't like StreamYard, don't like that shit today. Ooh. You want real nigga time. And be respectful.
I think Hamed
pull up to the table, put your napkin on your fucking chest, nigga, and do it proper, Slim.
Hamed, he got too much smoke in his lungs. He had to jump off. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hamed done been kicked out of a couple of goddamn scenes before for that same dumb shit. Goddamn, Mr. Two Hand just pulled his card, and I knew he was telling the truth.
You already know. You know I'm not going to say it if it's not all facts. And everybody know. Everybody in the chat know. I've been chronologically dating this since about back last week. I pulled the call out on it. Then the week before that, me and New pulled the call out on it. We pulled roll call at the beginning of the eviction notice show. He didn't pull up then. When we did it the next day, when we called it out, he ain't show up on the eviction notice show the next week. Now you want to pull up today talking all this Tyson Fury talk. Man, bro, kill all of that. Man, I didn't have a problem when he was talking. And he was irking my nerves, the fact that he pulled up here and act like I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to let, unbiased do his thing and all of that and let everybody everybody get their stuff off before I tore into him a little bit. But he just kept cutting them bias off, and that shit was pissing me off. I was already agitated like I had a fucking tick on my fucking arm or some shit like that. You know what I mean? When he was talking the whole time. But you know what I mean? Now you want to get all disrespectful? Nah, now I'm going to just go on you. You don't like StreamYard, right? I'm going to make you hate that motherfucker today.
I thought you guys were cool. That's I didn't know you guys still had beef or whatever.
Nah, we was cool. He was a straight fan. He was a fan, supported my channel, subscribed to my channel, pulled up on my live, supported, rock with the 2 hands up show and all of that. Everything was all love, bro. What it was I was on Twitter and I just was talking about, I said something about Anthony Joshua and just pulling up his nuances, how he got the ability to fight off of the back foot, fight off of the front foot, et cetera, saying that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight is a 50-50 fight and we can't use Deontay Wilder, as you know, the measuring stick for their fight. It still is a 50-50 fight. He goes off and says, no, he says, I don't see how anybody could think that after Anthony Joshua's last 2 fights. I said, well, you can't really say that considering, you know, and I said, what are you talking about? I said, Anthony Joshua's the second fight, he made adjustments, fought off the back foot beautifully, killed him with the jab, won every round, no debate. I said in the first fight, I said he tried to cook his food a little too early, got clipped. You know, he knows the reason why he lost the fight. I said, you know, and I said, if you're going to use that excuse, I said, well, we can look at the Fury Otto Wallin fight. I said, Fury got clipped by Otto Wallin when he was gassed, and he got, you know what I mean, he got rocked. You know, and he almost was in trouble at the end of the fight. And there was a couple times he was in trouble during the fight. So I said, everybody got holes in their game. He just went off and called me a fanboy, started talking all this and that. So I started trying to, you know, because on Twitter, you can only text so much. I try to say what I try to say. It came out in a bunch of different tweets. And then I was just like, nah, fuck all that. I said, man, bro, let's debate about it on IBFP. He tells me he don't like StreamYard. He don't fuck with StreamYard. Says he ain't never heard of me, never heard of IBFP. I got all the receipts and all of that. So then he tries to invite me to a hangout. The next day, he pulls up, starts talking shit on my Twitter. I was like, bruh, because he timed me out on Twitter. He says, you on timeout. So the next day, he starts talking all crazy, going in on my Twitter again. I said, you on timeout, pussy. You know what I'm saying? So I timed him out. You know what I mean? But you don't like StreamYard. So I get on Ring IQ shit. I see you on StreamYard. You talking. Now you want to pull up here on StreamYard, but you don't know who he is, but you talking. Nah, nigga, I'm about to tear the fur off your motherfucking ass. But yeah, that's that.
Hey, if no one notices, there's a bunch of caskets in the chat. We're gonna hold a candlelight vigil for Hamed. I mean, that was one hell of a body. I mean, you better run for it, because you can think about it like this: when you catch a body to this point, where the guy he don't even fight back. I mean, have you ever seen a pit bull fight a chihuahua? My God.
Yeah, man, we gonna hold a candlelight visual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
put up the obituaries, man.
Put up the candles, the caskets, you know,
the flowers, man. And see, this is what we gotta understand. This is the foundation of what the eviction notice is built on. You will talk crazy, and then you know what I'm saying. You think it's all sweet, thinking that you know we all operate on bitch boy time, and then you get your ass eviscerated straight like that. You pull up here, you know what I mean? I'm gonna hit you with the, you know, the Marvin the Martian Pum joint and straight get all the way rid of you, leave no traces.
And look, and everything Two Hands said was absolute facts. I mean, this is the sequence of events that happened. I was there through the whole thing. And then, you know, Two Hands just look, you can't blame him. You cannot come to a man crazy and then not expect to get this smoke. Two Hands not only got a body, he buried him, brought him back to life, and buried him again.
Brought him back up. Man, look, man, we caught a body, man. Then, you know what I mean, I body myself went down into purgatory just to kick him back dead.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Hamed full of shit. He be on my lives all the time, bro. And that's StreamYard. That's all I run is StreamYard.
I wouldn't have never even tripped off of him, but the moment he called me a fanboy on Twitter, I lost it, bro. Like calling somebody a fanboy, it's like that's like grounds for all. That's grounds for smoke on site, bro. It's like a couple lines you don't cross, like you know what I mean, in the YouTube boxing community. And that fanboy line, that's the one. You gotta see me when you call me a fanboy.
Look, man. Look, on that note, we had to end the forced eviction. We're gonna let everybody, give your final thoughts. IBT, you want to go first?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It was a great stream. I think topics were good and everything was on point. And nice way to end it out with the body.
Salute. Who want to go to Unbiased? You want to give your final thoughts on everything or anything?
Yeah, man. Salute to Nuke. It was a good show. You know what I'm saying? We had to evict a couple of people. Yeah, man, that was, that was crazy. Two Hands and Hamid. But yeah, man, really good live, good show. You know what I'm saying? Tune in for the next one.
Hold on real quick. Hamid said, you blocked me and timed me out. How can I respond? Why would I block you? You jumped off. And now how can everybody see your comment if I blocked you in time? Why would I time you out when you were getting bodied?
Nah, what he talking about, Nuke, what he talking about is after he timed me out, right? The next day when he started going in, I timed him out. He kept on going, so I just blocked him. I said, you pretended like you don't know me. You pretended like you're not a fan or don't support any of the platforms. So I'm just going to completely get all the way rid of you. You know what I mean? You didn't want to pull up. So why am I going to act alive when you already kicked yourself head? Why am I going to act like you living when you already made yourself dead to me? So at the end of the day, you didn't want to pull up to the live. So continue to act dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And look, and my bad, Unbiased. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my brother. You can finish your point.
No, I'm good. I finished it. Yeah.
Okay. D, you want to take the next?
Yo, man, it's real simple. Nuke, appreciate you having me on. Always a pleasure. Always a good time. Mr. Two Hands Up, shout out to you, dog. Y'all don't want that goddamn fire. That's just a taste of what you get when you step on the panel with that bullshit. And Hamed, dog, you know I fucks with you, Hamed, but you got your ass body bag today, dog. It wasn't even the 6 foot grave, bro. It was 8 feet, and they put some cement on the top of your ass. Look, hey, y'all take it easy, man. Good way to end the show.
And look, I want to before I get to Two Hands, I just want to say one thing. If you come for Two Hands, he will body you anytime, anywhere. He is not going to forget. So just remember that. Two Hands, you go, my brother.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all know I ain't really got too much to say right now, man. Look, I put cement all over top of Hamed, casket, man. My daughter is playing basketball. She running full court with, with my nephews right now. They dunking all on this nigga body. As we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Don't act like we forget. You calling people fanboys. You act like you don't rock with the show. You don't rock with the team. Guess what? I don't forget nothing. Or if you're going to act like I have the type of character or we have the type of character where you can get out of line and you can pull up and not get your head bust, you did the fuck wrong. Respect, though.
Whoa. And look, I just want to give a quick shout out to Actual Fact Santos. Salute to you. Salute to Black and Brown. Salute to Sporting Icons. And I'm going to tell everybody, there's one channel that my son always catch me listening to, and that's D. Jefferson's channel. And the funny thing about that is he always tells me, he said, Daddy, is that the donut man? I'm like, yeah, that's the donut man. That's the donut man. That's the donut man.
That's what's up, dog.
He loved the donut man. And so I'm going to just tell you this. If you haven't subscribed to D. Jefferson Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, that shit is fire. If you haven't subscribed to Unbiased or Biased Boxing, I'm going to tell you something about Unbiased or Biased Boxing Talk. And this is why I like anytime he goes on live stream, anytime he puts out a video, that shit's educational. So basically he needs to put at the end of all his videos, educating casuals, because people that don't know shit about boxing need to watch his channel to learn, to understand the sport. And IBT, the guy is new to the scene, but the man is a beast. Salute to IBT. You need to subscribe to him as well.
Hell yeah.
Mr. Two Hands Up, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this about Two Hands video. this is probably the single most entertaining videos I've ever seen in my life. Like this shit, I had laughing, informed, knowledgeable, all the way from beginning to end. So if you don't do shit else, if you rock with the IBFP, subscribe to D Jefferson Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, Unbiased to Biased Boxing Talk, Immortal Boxing Truth, Mr. Two Hands Up. I promise you won't regret it. I have all these dudes on the panel for a reason. I don't put no fake casual fan, but if you've seen somebody that used to be on the panel that ain't on here no more, it's because I done found them out to be a fanboy. Everybody on this channel, I respect. Everybody on this channel, I listen to, even the Donut Man.
Hey, dude, you do keep me lit in the mornings, dog. So you got to keep them donut shop lives coming now, bro. Cause hey, coffee time, you having me lit, bro.
Hey, that's what's up, bro. I'm gonna have to do this too. Just to let y'all know, we gonna call it something. But I just told my wife I'm gonna keep it going, dog. But I didn't say fuck the donut shop. Them people got annoying, dog.
Said you that said fuck them. Well, you just gonna have to do some early morning, Joan, bro, and just might have to go pull up on them, grab some donuts from them real quick, and shoot the live that way, and bring them joints back to the house and still shoot your live.
No, we're gonna keep them coming, man. We're gonna keep them coming, dog. We're gonna keep them coming. I appreciate you, Luke. I'm biased, Mr. Two Hands, IBT, and who else is that on the? Oh, that's a. Oh, all right. No, I'm going crazy. I need to go roll up.
You ain't lying. I need to do the same thing.
And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to Actual Facts Santos. Subscribe to everybody, to Sporting Icons. Subscribe to Black and Brown Boxing as well. All good channel. Salute everybody. Man. Catch you on the next one. Oh, Two Hands. One more sign out, my brother. One last time.
Yeah, man. Hey, I just wanted to say, man, yeah, definitely subscribe to all of the channels, man. This a mob, man. It's a movement, man. We all like brothers, man. And hey, man, as we always say when we end this shit, man, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. This is the eviction notice, man. Jermall Boxing Nuke and the motherfucking boss. Respect, though.
Respect, salute.